James Harden scored 28 points in his playoff debut for the Clippers as LA defeated the Mavericks 109-97 Sunday. The Clippers were without Kawhi Leonard, who hasn't played since March 31st because of inflammation in his surgically repaired right knee. Doncic led the Mavs 33 points, 13 rebounds, while Kyrie had 31 points, 7 rebounds. All right, Essay, I'm going to come to you first on this. Were you more encouraged by the Clippers or discouraged by the Mavs after game one?
I was very encouraged, first of all, because Big Perk and myself did something that Shay has struggled to do this year, and that is show up at the crypto.com arena.
Man, stop it.
I know. I mean, the brother been busy. So, he ain't been at crypto that much this year. He damn sure ain't going for the Clipper games. I get all of that. I understand it. But had you been there yesterday with me and Big Perk, Shay, I got to tell you something. I got to be impressed with the Clippers and what we saw. You don't have Kawhi Leonard. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are coming into the arena. You know how they've been flowing, and now Dallas has been flowing. And what happens? James Harden is doing his thing. 28 points, 8 assists, 6 of 11 from three-point range. He played a great game yesterday. And Russell Westbrook off the bench. It was just 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting. But this brother was an energizer bunny that really, really sparked the Clippers and pushed them to another level before they got out to a damn near 30-point lead and ultimately ended up winning this game. Kyrie Irving came on strong in the third quarter. Obviously, it was a bit too little too late. But I look at the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard's services, all right, with Paul George, relatively pedestrian performance, 22 points, 8 of 20 shooting. He could do better. He knows that. Still in all, you won, and you won in relative lopsided fashion. I got to give credit where credit is due to the Los Angeles Clippers, who reminded us of what they're capable of in this conference, the kind of things that they can do, their ability to compete. When they bring their game, they could go up against anybody. And they showed us that yesterday. I got to give credit where credit is due.
That wasn't, see, you don't need James Harden. That was the beard. See, with the beard, with Kawhi being out, you have a chance. If James Harden show up, you got no chance. But look at what Ty Lue did yesterday. They started out going inside the Zubas. They say, Daniel Gafford, you ain't got enough bricks in your back pocket to deal with big Zubs. And so now they start inside out. The beard gets it cooking. You're right, Paul George struggled. He kind of got it going late. But here's the thing. We're going to concede. Ty Lue is going to concede somewhere between 55 and 70 points to Kyrie and Luka. The other guys, y'all not going to get anything. They've got to help. You look at what Tim Hardaway Jr., you look at what Gafford did. You look at, all of a sudden, Maxi Kleber don't even know what a basket looks like. He couldn't throw it in the ocean, sitting in the middle of the ocean. Your other guys, because Kyrie and Luka's not going to be the most efficient getting his numbers. Kyrie was sensational in the third quarter. But do we actually believe that the Mavs are going to score 8 points in a quarter again? I don't. Luka had it going early. Kyrie kind of stood back, let Luka do his thing. Luka didn't score any points in the second quarter. I believe they come back, and they're probably going to have another 65, 70-point outing. But if the others, the auxiliary pieces, don't do anything, they're not going to beat the Clippers, because that's what the Mavs need. They need the auxiliary pieces. And again, I told you that defense. You told me they're going to be okay.
Let me say.
You told me they're going to be okay.
Let me
That's
say
what
this.
You told me.
Let me say this.
Okay.
When it comes down to looking at the playoffs, the start of the playoffs, every home team won.
Yes.
And what I'm watching in this series is that I'm looking at the Clippers, and I'm like, role players are going to play better at home.
Okay.
You mentioned Big Zubac. Damn it, he turned into Shaq
Correct.
last night.
He did.
I mean, 20 and 10, floaters in the lane, taking advantages of mismatches, finishing in the paint off the pick and roll. And when I think about the Clippers and I think about Ty Lue said this right after their regular season game. A reporter asked him, he said, when are you going to start preparing for Dallas? He said, I've been preparing for him.
Right.
We're talking about arguably the best coach in basketball who turned water into wine. I still have the Mavs winning this series in 6, especially if Kawhi's not going to come back, because the one thing I won't dismiss is that we didn't see James Harden have spectacular game ones. But as the series keep going and the deeper you go, we can't find them.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them going, try to wear, pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. The city to the top.